Good evening everyone, I am Quoth, and tonight I'm going to discuss why you should play Warhammer in any form, 40k, Age of Sigmar, and Horus Heresy. Now this video is a complement to my previous video on why you shouldn't play Warhammer. In that video I detailed some of my issues with playing Warhammer, mainly to do with Games Workshop as a company, and I outlined some potential alternatives and tips to avoid supporting Games Workshop. I do suggest watching that video as it will contextualize a lot of what I'm going to say today. This video is the counterbalance video, the yin to the yang. I play and enjoy Warhammer regularly, and there are big positives to the hobby that really should be brought up whenever there's a critique of Games Workshop or Warhammer, especially when it comes to newer players. They should be aware of what they stand to gain from the hobby, as well as what they stand to lose. Now, why you should play Warhammer? Well, first off, it's easily accessible, and boasts large communities. Being around for as long as Warhammer has, and being as big as it is, allows for large communities of players all over the world. Even in the more isolated locations like rural areas, you can still find communities of players to meet up with in real life. Even if you can't find them in real life, there's still online communities that you can join to share your progress in the hobby, get feedback on painting, kit bashes, tactics. No matter what flavour of Warhammer you're playing, you can find an online community dedicated to that, who are passionate and will usually be encouraging. Next, it's expansive. In rules, lore and models, there's a ton of variety and detail to delve into. If there's a particular style or niche that appeals to you, it's likely that there's a faction or sub-faction that embodies it. From space vampires to lizard Aztecs, most people can find something that they identify with, and when they do, they can delve into a wealth of details and lore that flesh out their group. Additionally, there are lore-appropriate rules that help you to engage with the faction you're playing on the tabletop. In the best cases, being able to play them in the same manner that they're described in the lore. The foundations are there for you to get invested in the faction of your choice, and end up as a die-hard fan of a particular faction, like me. Next, it can help you to develop skills. The hobby of Warhammer requires a lot from you, and if you want to indulge in all of its aspects, there's a lot to do. From assembling the models and making custom modifications, to painting them just right and basing them. There's a lot of space for you to explore and expand your skill set. There's also a wealth of tutorials online now to teach you any aspect that you're interested in developing for your own hobby repertoire. Not only that, if math is not your strong suit, it soon will be with all the dice roll calculations you'll need to do if you want to play Warhammer. Warhammer also helps to teach low-level skills, like problem solving and reasoning, which you can use in other aspects of your life. Next, there's progression to be made within the hobby of Warhammer. You start out with just a fledgling force of a few models, unpainted, fighting low-level battles with friends. The longer you stay in the hobby, the more you paint, collect, and play. You gather a middling force of hodgepodge painted miniatures. They're not perfect, but they're yours. You go to your first tournament, get destroyed by the new meta hotness. You collect more, learn more, play more, you start another army, your painting skills are on point, and you've gotten good at kit bashing as well. This is the hobby, you're in it, and have come a long way from when you first started. You can look across all the models lined up that you've poured your time into and really feel proud. They have meaning to you. Regardless of what aspect of the hobby you're interested in, there's progression and growth that can feed into a sense of pride and accomplishment. Whether you're crushing tournaments with your own meta hotness, or painting to the best of your abilities, you can take the hobby where you want and really get invested. Next, it's therapeutic. Once you get over the stress of modelling and painting as a new thing, there's a sense of peace and joy that can be achieved through the simple act of assembling something and seeing it come to life. If there are difficult times in your life, modelling and painting with some music on in the background can just be a getaway. You can disappear into your head and just focus on this one simple thing, all the while as you go gathering the feeling of accomplishment from seeing your work translate into progress. If I ever need to cheer myself up, I can go over and have a look at my models and remember how worried I was that I would mess them up, but how happy and proud I was when I got them done. If you find the right community, they can also support you. Having these models that you work on and like, then taking them to a meetup and having other people compliment them and like them too, is really good for your mental health and helps to form friendships. Next, it's a reliable investment of your time. While Warhammer in its lifetime has been many things and been played many ways, one thing has remained consistent, and that's the existence of the hobby. With how popular Warhammer is, Games Workshop as a company is unlikely to go under and collapse. That means that Warhammer is a reliable hobby to get into. Models that you purchase today should at least be playable for 5 to 10 years. Additionally, people are still playing things like 3rd edition Warhammer 40,000. If you like the current edition or game system, it's likely you'll be able to find people to play it with well into the future. Time spent on this hobby now will still have some value in the future. Next, models retain some level of value. You should reliably get 70% of the regular retail price for newer models. Obviously, as time goes on, the value depreciates, but the value holds for much longer than you think. And if you end up getting out of the hobby and selling your models, you'll be out of pocket less than you think. For those looking to dip their toe into the hobby and realize it isn't for them, you'll be able to recoup more losses than you expect. That's it. those are some of the reasons I think you should play Warhammer. As I said at the start of the video, I think you should watch my previous video on why you shouldn't play Warhammer, since it'll give you, my perspective on some of the negatives of Warhammer. Mainly to do with the company of control of it, and how you can participate in Warhammer without supporting the nasty business practices of GW. If you have any corrections, please leave a comment. Thanks for listening. Signing off.